is the surprise city of South America, where most visitors who gaze upon it for the first time do not expect to find a modern and up-to-date metropolis such as we see here. Lima is also the capital of a vast country richly endowed with natural resources, including sugar, cotton, petroleum, copper, silver, and numerous commodities of worldwide importance. And we are impressed by its beautiful buildings and plazas, modern hotels, the very finest cinema theaters, and all the 20th century innovations found in the cosmopolitan cities of the world. Incidentally, Lima is one of the few places in the world where a motion picture exhibitor thinks enough of a short subject to advertise it with his features, and we are quite thrilled at seeing one of our travel talks sharing honors on the same marquee with William Powell and Myrna Loy. The Plaza de Armas is of historical significance, for it was here in 1535 that Francisco Pizarro, the conqueror of Peru, founded the city of Lima, and his body now lies in a glass casket in the picturesque cathedral which dominates the plaza. The Country Club of Lima is a rendezvous for the socially elite of the city, providing for its members golf, polo, entertainments, and various other forms of diversion. In the background of a picturesque lagoon is La Cabana, one of Lima's most popular clubs, as well as a noted meeting place for world travelers. Spanish dancing has influenced native Indian dancing considerably. But at Chiclín, the Peruvian Indians stage a dance which we are told was performed by their ancestors before they were conquered by the Spaniards. Picturesque scenes of rural Peru are witnessed en route to Huancayo, where the native Indians travel for miles to bring their goods to the famous Sunday market, representing one of the most colorful gatherings to be seen in all of Peru. And at the end of the day, the Indians pack up their purchases and unsold merchandise and retire to their rural haunts in the hills and the valleys, where the old bridges of their forefathers provide a thrilling adventure for the courageous passengers in the overloaded vehicles, which now transport some of the wealthier Indians to and from the market. While en route to Lake Titicaca, we stop off at Arequipa, formerly an Indian village, but incorporated as a Spanish city in 1540. The origin of the word Arequipa is supposed to have come from the Indian word Arequipe, which means, yes, stay here. And the place to stay is at Quinta Bates, where one may have the pleasure of meeting the best-known woman in Peru, Tia Bates, as she is called by the 5,000 Indian children who acknowledge her as their godmother. 40 years ago, this remarkable woman left her home in the United States and journeyed with her parents to South America, finally settling in Peru, where she has resided ever since. Braving the hardships of earlier frontier days, Tia Bates learned the language, manners, and customs of the native Indians and devoted precious years of her life to teaching and helping them to improve their way of living. Her name has become an institution in Peru, and her establishment is a mecca for world travelers. But her chief interest lies with the native Indian girls, to whom she has brought a culture and refinement that will always be a reflection of herself and a credit to her memory. And now we continue our journey to Lake Titicaca, over a railway route that abounds in beautiful settings of mountains and lakes, forming a fitting prelude to the glorious scenes which await us at our destination. We arrive at Lake Titicaca, where the golden glow of dawn enshrines a setting beyond the power of words to describe. Used by the native Indians are called balsas, and they are the same models that were used by the ancient inhabitants of Peru and Bolivia, long before the coming of the Spanish conquerors. They are made of reeds which grow on the banks of the lake, and are not unlike the reed boats that were used by the early Egyptians in their navigation of the Nile. Lake Titicaca is the highest navigable body of water in the world, and it has regular steamship service between Bolivia and Peru. We have seen many sunrises and sunsets in all parts of the world, but never have we seen such manifestations of vivid color as that which attend the great orb of day as it rises and sets on Lake Titicaca. After gazing upon such divine grandeur, it is easy to understand why the early inhabitants on the shores of Lake Titicaca were sun worshippers. And this is the thought that remains with us as we reluctantly conclude our glimpses of Peru.